Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yoyis, and on my channel I teach you guys everything you need to know about lash extensions. And for today's video, it is a new episode of Lash Baby's Killing It. If you don't know, Lash Baby's Killing It is all about me sitting down with other lash artists and talking about their lash journey. Hopefully these videos can give you guys inspiration. Then you guys know that we all start off the same and we all have similar, a little different journeys, but we all go through the same struggles. So in today's video, I did get the chance to sit down with Lex, and she goes by Lashes by Lex on Instagram, and she also has a YouTube channel. She just started it. So she is a new lash artist, but her confidence is what we all need, especially I know I needed that as a beginner lash artist. So if you guys want to hear what Lex has to say, then stick around. Hello.
Hi, I turned my volume on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You're
Okay.
so cute. It's so funny. I was just stalking your Instagram page right now. I didn't know you had a YouTube.
Yeah, I started it maybe like a month ago, so it's still really new and I
Oh,
only have like 3 videos on there,
oh my
but
goodness.
it's going well, like so far so good. Like most of the time I just do it because I enjoy it. Like it's
Yeah.
fun for me to like make the videos and stuff. Like, I don't really care who watches it, but I'm having fun
Yeah.
just shooting them. So
That's funny. That's how I started out too. I'm just gonna do it for the heck of it, and then now like turned into something. I'm like, crap. I
yeah.
just like going back.
Now I gotta keep it going.
I,
I know. I kind of enjoy like the pressure of like not having to make the videos or not having to like post every week. Or but people
yeah.
still even now hit me up like, "Hey, I saw your last YouTube video. When are you gonna post another one?" And I'm like,
Aww.
"Oh my god."
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Why don't you give us your name, your background, a little bit about yourself, how you got started in the industry?
Okay. Well, my name's Alexis. I go by Lash by Lex on Instagram. I kind of got into doing lashing by like one day. It just like kind of like I was sitting on the couch with my boyfriend, and we were literally just talking about how like to grow our businesses and different things that we wanted to do. And he was like, "Why don't you start lashing?" And I was like, why don't I start lashing? Like it kind of just like clicked to me to do
Mhm.
lashing. And then I kind of like fell down the YouTube rabbit hole and I actually stumbled across your videos and like some other people by like Lash by Kins and stuff like that. And ever
Mhm.
since then, I just like grew obsessed with it. Like I would watch YouTube videos for like 7 hours a day and like just be on my phone all everything lashing. So then I went
Yeah.
to go, yeah, then I went to go take my class and got certified. And ever since then, I just been like super obsessed with it. Like
Aw.
I've always had a love for all things beauty and stuff, but it
Yeah.
just kind of was like it just made sense at the time. I was like, why am I not lashing? But I'm still fairly new to the industry. But so far so good. Like it's going good. I really enjoy it.
That's good. How long have you been lashing for?
About like 6 months now. So
Girl.
really new. I'm like a little baby.
Aw, and I love it. I love the fact that you started off your channel so early because you can watch yourself grow. And honestly, that's why I started my channel, because I'm just like, I learned so much within, like the first year that I started lashing. And I was like, I just want to like share everything that I know. And I feel like you're on the same journey because you're still so fairly new. And oh my goodness, I'm so excited for you.
No, I am new. And like a lot of my like goal has been like since I am new and I know how it is like starting off, it's kind of just been to like share that with people, like because there's so many new lash artists out here and so many
Yeah.
beginners that like don't know a lot of stuff, and I don't know a lot of stuff as well. And like as I'm finding out, like I'm just like telling people like, hey, this is what I use for this. Hey, this is what I found helps me, and people have found it like very useful. So
Yes.
there's not a lot of information out there. So
Mhm.
just being a person that can kind of like provide that has been so great.
See, and you're very relatable because a lot of girls are going through this similar journey as you. Like they've been lashing for a couple months and they still don't know what to do, you know? So the fact that you are providing that knowledge for them so early on, that is like that's incredible, you know? Not a lot of people do that because a lot of people are still scared at that stage, you know? And I know it's hard. 6 months in, it's still hard.
It's so hard. It's so hard, especially in when you expect like, okay, like I'm certified now, like I'm gonna have all these clients come in, and I'm just gonna be so busy, and I'm gonna practice
Yeah.
lashing all the time, and it's not like that, you know. It takes you a while to build up that clientele and
Yes.
have actual live people to practice on, not just your mannequins.
Mm,
So I just like to share that with people. Like, don't get discouraged. Like, I'm there still currently at this moment, like still new and trying to figure it out and just trying to help other people figure it out
yes,
along the way.
exactly. So I wanted to ask you, I love your sign. It's so cute.
Ah! Yeah.
Where'd
Everyone always says that. Thank you so much.
you
I got it like customized to, you know, my brand and my logo.
Yeah,
So, but I love it. It's like a eye-catching thing when everyone comes in.
it
So,
is. I was on your Instagram and the first video I clicked on was because of that sign caught my attention. And you were talking to your friend, I think
uh-huh.
about lashes, right? You guys were talking about lashes or something else. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah. I was
The
doing.
garage.
I was doing. I just did a get to know me video on YouTube,
Yeah.
and it was just like 10 random questions with
Mhm.
Lex. So I did that. But yeah, it was in the background. We
That's
did it
so
in the
cute.
studio.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
Etsy
love
girl. Etsy has everything.
Yes, I get everything from Etsy. So, and it's funny because I've actually been looking at it, but I'm just like, do I want to get my business or do I want to get something cute and creative? Like, I don't know. That's why I haven't
Yeah,
got one.
yeah. No, it's definitely been worth the investment. And so
Hmm.
everyone asks me where I got it, and I don't mind sharing at all. I'm like, DM me. I'll tell you the vendor. I'll tell you everything. So
Everything.
like, they'll get you a sign, you know,
All
and
right.
I'm
That's so
all
cute.
sharing.
Okay, so you mentioned that you love all things beauty and that's the reason why you got like introduced to the lash industry. But my question is like what is your reason behind it other than, you know, making money and all that, but what is your reason behind doing lashes?
So kind of like a reason behind it is how I started like working for myself and stuff is because obviously when COVID hit, I was working as a bartender actually. And I was like, I'm really not satisfied with this job. You know, it just wasn't really fulfilling to me. And then when COVID hit, like everything, you know, shut down and they let all their workers go. And the way they did it was just such in a way that I was like, wow, they really don't care about their workers. It was just so like, I found out on the news that I didn't have work anymore. Like they didn't send out a text, they didn't send out an email, they didn't send nothing. So for me, in my mind, I was like, all right, from now on, like I'm gonna do something that I enjoy, what I want to do. I'm gonna work for myself. Like
Be your
no
own
one,
boss.
yeah, be my own boss. Like no one's gonna ever be able to have me up in the morning worried about if I have work the next day or not you know caring about what's going to happen for my future. I was like the only person that's going to care about me is me and like go as hard for me as myself. So I just really had to sit down and think like what does Lex enjoy to do, like what makes Lex happy, and it was beauty. Like I just love like creating things. I love like just getting beauty done to me. So it was really just that. I was like, okay, you like beauty. What can you do with that? And I was like, lash extensions. Like, I love making people look pretty and stuff. And, you know, my goal moving forward is like, I want to do like eyebrows and maybe like some facial. So just like all things like beauty, really. And
Yeah.
lashes was kind of like my first step into that world.
Aw, I'm so happy for you. So, where do you see yourself within the next 5, 10 years? Obviously, you already explained that you want to do a little bit more, but where do you see yourself like in the near future?
Well, in the near future, I have been kind of designing like some merch and like some products. So I'm actually wearing one of my sweatshirts. It says beauty girl on it. So like all things beauty, beauty girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the future, I just see myself like creating more pieces, creating more merch. I definitely want to be more confident in my lashing. And I know that takes time and like
Yes.
practice and things. But just kind of moving forward in that aspects of everything, just
Mm-hmm.
being my own boss. Currently, I'm working out of a room in my house.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like one day opening up a salon is something that I think about often, just like being able to go in there and just like customizing my own space and
Mm-hmm.
just so that's on my radar as well.
Yeah. I think it's every girl's dream. Like when they first start off, I think that's like the end goal, you know?
Yeah, it's like salon. Like first thing
Yes.
I'm watching, like salon. Now I want a salon. Now I want to open something up. And it's like I haven't even had my first client yet. You gotta dream big.
I know you do. You really do. It's like when you start off a new adventure, like you do have to dream big because it's like, why are you gonna settle for the little things? You know, like you're lashing, like you're just gonna settle for that. Like you don't want something more than that. You know, there's nothing wrong with wanting bigger goals for yourself, for your family, or for whoever it is. You know, so I love that you're dreaming big and so early on. You know, because a lot of people don't have the reason why, you know, they don't have the reason why, and the reason why is going to keep you going, you know. So the
Oh,
fact that you already have that so early on, that is that's amazing, you know, and it's going to get you so far.
yeah, and even like the first like couple weeks going into this and like lashing and stuff, automatically in my head I was like, my end goal is not to lash 5 to 7 people a day for the rest of my life. Like my goal is I love being a lash artist. I love being able to like make my own schedule and do it like that. But I'm never gonna be the lash artist that like overpacks their schedule and like books out and like working back to back. And I'm just like, first of all, my back can't handle it, my neck can't handle it, like nothing can handle it. But
Yeah.
like I've always had that bigger like aspiration goal. Like I wanted to inspire others. I wanted to be a passive source of income for me and not
Mhm.
have to, literally slave away. So
It's funny because that's one thing that I've been talking to my husband about. I'm like, yes, lashing is fun and it's so beautiful. The what you can create, the way you can make women look so beautiful with just lashes alone, you know. But that is not the end goal. The end goal is so much bigger. It's so much bigger than just doing lashes. And even though I love lashing and even though I love doing YouTube videos, it is not where I want to be or what I want to be doing for the rest of my life, you know?
right.
So you do have to start off somewhere to get to where you want to be at.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just baby steps from here on out, baby steps.
For sure. And I think a lot of people count themselves out too early. Like
Mhm.
they look at the end goal and they're like, wow, that's way too big. I could never get there. I could never accomplish what she has accomplished. But as soon as you start thinking that, you program your mind to think that way and you're
Yeah.
already counting yourself out. So no, you'll never get anywhere with that. Every
Yeah.
day I wake up and I tell myself like, you are a boss. You can do this. You are beautiful. Like literally, like I'll look in the mirror and I have like a mantra that I just say to myself. So like, and even when I was first saying it, like I didn't believe it. I'm like, I'm a boss. Da, 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 you're beautiful. Now I wake up, I'm like, you're a boss. You got this.
Yes.
So your mind starts to believe it, and that's what
Mhm.
you have to do.
It's all a mental game. Like everything in life is a mental game. It really is because if you talk to yourself really really bad, then you wonder why your life is so shitty. You know, you wonder why your relationships don't work out or why your friends are like so toxic. It's probably because you're toxic too, you know? And you know, people who have reached really great things in life is because they change their mentality about what they can achieve. And it sucks, you know, as a lash artist, you do come in not knowing what to do or like if you're even doing it right. So it is kind of, it puts you in that little bubble where you're like, am I even doing it right? Like I will never be good enough. And you do like start to compare yourself, you know? And it sucks, but you yourself have to get yourself out of that mentality. You have to talk to yourself good. You have to believe that you're better than that, you know? And a mantra does work. And I know because from the moment that I started doing that with myself, then that's when I started doing bigger things. And who would have ever thought that I would be here? And it all came from talking to myself good. it all came from having a good mentality. I mean, it's not always good.
Well, yeah, but for sure it starts there.
You
Yeah,
have those days.
I
Hmm.
truly believe what you put out is like what you attract. So if, like
Yeah.
you said, if you're toxic, you're gonna attract toxic people. If you're, just happy and things are going well for you, and you're gonna bring in that prosperity. So,
Yes. Yes, totally agree. So I wanted to ask you, since you're still so new, I'm pretty sure you have some funny, crazy stories.
oh my gosh,
You
do
want to share?
I think just like the craziest story I had was like, it's not even like anything crazy. It's just like me being like super like anal about like my work and stuff. Like my hands are still really like kind of shaky, like
Okay. Yeah.
starting out. So like I did this lady's lashes and like obviously like my placement was all off and she had like this gap in between her eyes and she woke up and she was like there's this gap and I was like oh my gosh like I'm so sorry and it's not a crazy story but like she was kind of upset because like there was this gap in her eyes and I didn't really know as a new lash artist I didn't really know how to fix it or like what to say but I'm just like no like you don't have any lashes there. That's what I said. I was just like there's a gap because you don't have any lashes there
Yeah.
and I mean of course like she didn't know so she was
You
just
go like, but I could
she's just like, oh, okay. But I mean, she comes back to me and I
see.
do her lashes now. But so I'm just like, there's no hair there. And it kind of reminds me like of the inner corners where it's like, oh, you're not supposed to
Yeah.
do those inner corners. I remember you said that on a video and I was like, I felt that like in my soul. That's probably where I got the no lashes. But
It's
yeah,
really you're so new that you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. You're just like, crap, like what do I tell her? If I tell her the truth, is she not gonna want to come back? Like you just whatever comes out is whatever comes out. And sometimes it just happens. It's like you gotta lie. It sucks. It sucks,
yeah,
but
it really does. And like, there's so many people out here training people how to do lashes, and it's not always they're not always should be trainers. Like,
yeah.
just because you know how to lash doesn't mean that you should be like a lash trainer. So, like the class that I had, it probably wasn't the best class that I could have attended. So I learned a lot of the stuff by myself and like on YouTube and just like through trial and errors. So
Yeah.
my first few clients were really my error clients.
Yeah. I mean, it has to. How will you learn? Like you have to fail at first in order to get better.
Yeah,
'Cause
no, I
My
completely agree.
my first few clients were.
Yeah, and even I've only been doing it a short time, but I still look back at those pictures and I'm like, oh my gosh, like how did people let me do their lashes? Like,
Yeah.
what were they thinking?
Well, we got certified, so according to us, we're professionals.
I know, right? But I'm just like, and they said they liked them. I was like, was that true at the time? But
They were
no,
just being nice.
being nice, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you still have those sets where you do them and you just feel like, oh, like this didn't turn out the way I imagined, or things like that. So, trying not to get yourself down is like a really big part of like being a lash artist because not every set is going to be perfect.
Yes. And even now you still have like it's crazy to think that even now you'll have those bad days, and when you let that get to you, you'll notice that your work is not on point either. So
Hmm.
it all has to you have to put your best on everything. Doesn't matter if that client came in late and she was being rude, you still have to give it your best because she's paying you.
Hmm.
So I wanted to ask you, I had a couple questions that I wrote down for you. I think we talked about everything already. We
No,
just
it could definitely
right
be. I know you're just like flowing through like all the questions.
through.
No, for
Yeah,
sure.
pretty much. So what made you want to come on here and talk about your journey?
Well, I just saw like your videos and stuff, and I was just like, wow, those are like really inspirational. I love what she's doing with like the
Mm,
lash fade, killing it or whatever.
mm,
And I was like, well, maybe if I go on there, I can, because I see a lot of them are like longer in beauty industry. And I was like, I don't know, I haven't seen many like way beginners, so maybe I can, introduce
Yeah.
something to,
Mhm.
her viewers. Or and a lot of people have been asking me about my journey, so I was like, well, tune in, to the video and you guys will find out, type thing. But
Yeah.
just sharing some of my insights, sharing, some of the things that I've been doing,
Mhm.
things that have helped me. So
So what is one struggle that you have gone through? I mean, you're still fairly new. Like, what is one area or one struggle that you're still trying to get through?
I think my biggest struggle is like time right now. Um, I
Mhm.
take so long to do a set. Like if I'm doing hybrid sets, like takes me like 4 hours, 4.5 hours. But
That's not bad though.
but I'm talking to people and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're spending that long on a set? Like it should only be like 2 hours." And I'm like, I spend like 2 hours and 30 minutes on classics.
See, but
Um,
you're still fairly new. That's the thing.
yeah,
It's that amount of time should be when you've been lashing over a year. Like that's something that you have to go through, you know? Like cuz me, it took me 2 days for my first few sets. 2 days, 6 hours each day. So it's
yeah,
something that you definitely have to build up to. Yes, now I could do a hybrid set in 2 hours, a classic set in like an hour and a half. So it just depends. Everybody's journey is different. Your glue is probably what's, making you take so long, but
hmm,
if you use a faster glue, you probably won't be able to keep up with it. So
right,
it depends. That's one thing that I recommend to new girls is not to ask it, because it puts you in this like, well, she's doing it this, this fast, I should be doing it that fast too, like, and
hmm,
it makes you doubt yourself, because
hmm.
4 hours is not bad at all. It is not bad. It's
You're the
something.
first person to, to tell me that. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you have to like get your time up. You have to get your time up." And like, I do want to be lashing faster, but at the same time, like, I try to get like every single lash, like
Yes.
as much as I can, just because I want them to last long. Like,
Yes.
I'm still fairly new, so I'm like seeing how the glue works, like how it falls out, how they come back, their retention. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to fill up as much as possible. So, I'm not getting a text the next morning saying all my lashes fell
Yeah.
out. But a lot of people don't lash every single lash.
Mhm.
They
See, and
don't.
that's why they get done in an hour, because they're not taking their time to fill them up completely. See, and that's why I understand 4 hours is good timing, especially if you are lashing like 80 to 100%. As a beginner, that is great. That is
Yeah.
amazing, because most girls will only lash 50% and do it within like less than 2 hours and call that a full set. No. No.
So true. That's so true. So,
Mhm.
and that's why I said, like, I typically only take, like, my max is 3 people a day, but I usually only do 1 or 2 a day, like how I set up my schedule. And I'm just like, I take so long. If I take more people a day, I'm going to be lashing for
All
20
day.
more hours straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another reason why I really love how I can like make my own schedule and just like be able to
Mhm.
work for myself, because I mean it's a tedious process. It really is. It
It
really
really is.
so and then another thing that I've been struggling on is, like I said earlier, like my shaking hands. I practice on my mannequin doll like every day consistently, and I'm just fine. I'm just like boop boop, like just everything's okay. And then when I get to like that live model, that person like laying down in front of me, my hand is just like
It's because
shaking
you're
like
thinking too much
crazy.
about it.
I know it's so bad how bad my hand shakes.
It's probably because as soon as she lays down, you're just like, I don't want to fuck this up.
Exactly,
And then
exactly.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah. So then like I'm like, do I use a slower drying glue so I can get it on there? But then like I'm getting it on there and then I'm moving it all around like the natural lash. And I don't know. I'm still, like I said, I'm still figuring it out. It's
Yeah.
like that for like the first 5 to 10 minutes, and
Mhm.
then like I'm
You
like,
calm
uh,
down and then,
yeah, I'm
yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
start talking to myself. I'm like, this is okay. You're gonna be good. Really, positive
Yeah.
self talk is what
Mhm.
gets me through my appointments.
Yeah, you really do have to talk to yourself like that. It's crazy. And I talk about this all the time, but you do have to have a good mindset, especially when somebody sits down. If you're like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this. I can't do this. I'm scared. Like you start feeling anxious, and that's when you start getting like all shaky and nervous. And you have
Yeah,
to remind yourself that you got this, that it's okay. Like those people, they're going to pass out, they're going to go to sleep. So it really doesn't matter. You just got to get in there, do the best that you can, lash as much as you can. Doesn't matter how long you take, but as long as you give them a full set, especially if they're paying for it, you got to give it your best. So definitely do not worry about the time. That will come. That will come. Within a year, you're gonna be like, wow, I'm doing 3 hours now. Wow, I'm doing 2 hours. You're gonna see a big difference. The more you keep lashing, the faster you'll pick up your speed. And that's definitely one thing you should not even be worrying about right now, especially so early on in your career.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
No, it's definitely early. I find it soothing when they start like snoring. Like when there's, I'm like, yes, now like I can just like go and just do whatever. Like not
Yes.
even, you know.
Hmm.
But sometimes I'll just lay my tools down and I'll literally go like this. Like I'll be behind them, like
Hmm.
breathing and like shaking my hands out. But whatever gets you there, right?
Yes, exactly. And I know I went through it, girl. I know. And sometimes, and it's funny because I have some clients now that were like one of my first few ones. And they're like, how did you get so fast? Like all this time, like I remember you used to take like 4, 5, 6 hours, like, how are you doing it within 2 hours now? And I'm just like, it's all about breathing. It really is. It's all about talking to yourself good. It's all about just reminding yourself that you got this. And once you end up picking up those habits, then it just comes naturally to you.
For sure.
Mhm.
For sure.
So I wanted
Positive.
to ask you, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. So, what was the hardest part for you? And also, like, looking back at yourself now, like, what would you tell yourself, like, when you were starting back out?
The hardest thing for me was, I mean, obviously everything was pretty hard. Definitely inner corners
Okay.
and believing that how do I say it? Not trusting, but
Like, having the
like
confidence.
yeah, the confidence, like being capable of handling it all, like being an actual business owner. Like I feel like to me, the reason why I struggled so much in the beginning getting clientele was because I would tell myself, oh, I want more clients, I want to make more money. But to me, the biggest struggle was when a new girl would come in, like was opening up to them, making them feel comfortable and relatable. Like to me, like I'm very antisocial, and it's kind of hard to believe because, of everything that I do. But when it comes to like people, I close myself down, like I shut myself down to the
Mm-hmm.
point where I don't want to talk to anybody. So I
Mm-hmm.
kind of have to force it on myself, and doing YouTube and, being around so many girls and clients and all that, it has helped me so much become this person that I always wanted to be. Like, I never thought that I would be here on YouTube making videos, like, let alone be dealing with so many people.
Right.
Um, and I was like the shy girl, I was always the shy girl, but I was always down for everything. And I think because I was always down for everything, that's what pushed me out of my comfort zone. So for me, it was because I was scared of new clients, because I was
Mm,
scared of building bigger things. I think that's what was holding me back on
mm,
getting clients. So
yeah.
once I completely let my guard down and trusted myself and made myself believe that I am capable of bigger things, I think that's when everything just started flowing in. So,
Yes.
and I think that's one thing that I tell my girls too, is that you have to believe that you deserve it. If you even if you feel like you don't, you have to believe it, like deep down in your soul. You have to make yourself believe that you deserve everything that you are working for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard, because people they struggle with confidence. They really
Yes.
do.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I was the same way. Like I've always been like super shy and I've never imagined myself putting out these videos and just
Mhm.
being like in front of even if it's 100 people, even if it's 20 people,
Yeah.
put me in a room with 20 people and tell me to get on stage and speak, and I'll probably throw up. Like, I, I will probably throw up. Like, I'll be so nervous. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So now putting myself out there is just like so like wow to me. And I
Mhm.
think the biggest thing I had to get over was like caring what other people thought. Like, I really let that hold me back from doing so much. Like, what if they
Mhm.
don't like it? What if they talk about me? What if all these things? And I'm
Yeah.
like, just one day, I'm just like, why do other people's opinions matter to you, Alexis? Like, people on the internet, people you don't even know that are not in your day to day, like,
Yeah.
you're really letting them stop you and hold you back from like all of this.
Yeah.
Like, now that I'm doing it now, I'm just like, wow, like this is what I could have been doing. Like, this is
Mhm.
how, I could have been putting myself out there.
Yeah.
Um,
It's crazy to think that because in a way we're taught to be like that, without realizing that that's how we were programmed to be. And it's crazy too because I wanted to start my YouTube channel like years ago, like years ago, and I never did it because I'm like, what if my old high school friends see me and they start making fun of me? But it's like, who gives a fuck, who cares?
yes.
Yes, and it's funny that you bring this up because I'm the same way. Like, and even that's one thing I still struggle with is like what if people see me as this bitch? Like what if people see me like as a mean person? And I don't want to be known that because I work so hard, like to be like this nice person. Like I just want to be there for everybody and serve people and just be a good person.
Mhm.
So it kind of being people knowing you, people that
Oh,
you don't
for sure.
know.
In the spotlight.
Yeah, so it kind of makes you have to have strong skin in order so people, what people say about you doesn't bother you. So yesterday I had this girl comment and I'm so proud of myself. Myself that I screenshot it and I posted it on Instagram because this girl, you could tell that it was a fake account. And normally I'm just like, why would they say that? Like that's fucked up. Like that's fucked up. But she
Yeah.
said she texted on one of my lash extension videos and she's like, what is this shit? So
Ah,
I'm just like, you're on a lash extension channel. What do you mean? What is this shit? So I texted her, I'm like, this shit is lash extensions.
yeah. That's what this is. You landed on my page.
And then I blocked her, but I'm like, whatever, like
You gotta block after. You have to block after for your sanity.
yes, because I'm just like, if I don't block her, she's gonna keep going, and then I'm gonna get pissed off, and I'm gonna keep going, because I don't know when to stop. So I'm just
Yeah.
like I'd rather just not deal with it, and like first of all, why would you come on here and be rude if you don't like it? mm, You know,
Rude.
stop watching the video. But
Yeah.
it's just like that's one of my biggest thing is like I care so much what people say to the point where it just bugs me and bugs me until I can't handle it no more. And then I end up breaking down. So
Yes.
I feel like, YouTube has taught me to be a bigger person and have tough skin and just not care. Just nobody's gonna pay my bills. These people that are talking shit, nobody's gonna pay my bills.
Yeah.
So why do I care? So it's definitely a journey.
Yeah, no, people's words definitely have an effect on you. Like, no matter like how tough your skin is, anything,
Yeah.
like people's words will have an effect on you. And that's the main thing. Like, I struggle with like letting them getting to the point where I was comfortable in myself and comfortable with what I was doing and believed in it, that other people's opinions, didn't doesn't have an effect on me. Like, most of the time, like I said, most of the time I'm doing stuff for me. Like, I like doing the videos, I like doing them. And if you go in with that mindset, then there's no room for disappointment. If you go in like, oh my gosh, I hope they like it, I'm doing this for them, like what if they don't buy my stuff, what if they, if you go in like that, then no, why would
Yeah.
they? You have to really, like you said, how you talk to yourself, how you believe in yourself. But no,
Mhm.
that's so funny. I had someone comment on one of my posts or whatever, and I had like a little smart comment as as well. But I didn't block them. I should go go back and block them.
Yeah, no, it's like, why do you need people like that? They're just stalking you to talk shit. It's like, I don't need pep. Like, I took out so many people out of my life that were that toxic. Like, I don't need more toxic people coming and ruining my day. Like, I don't need to. I work so damn hard to provide this content for girls who really need it. If you're just gonna go on there and talk shit, fuck outta here.
Yes. And take the time to make a fake page and message you. Like, you like leave. I do not need that energy in my life.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you said.
Do you have any questions? Any last questions for me before we finish off our chat?
Um, no questions, but I did want to say congrats on your SoCo lash journey.
Aw, thank
And I see
you.
that you are, I guess, your ambassador or your teacher for them. I'm not. What did you went on that retreat? I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
so originally I went on that retreat to take like a business mastery course, and Jenna is going to be providing that for girls who want to take their business to the next level but don't know how. So
Mhm.
she's going to teach like the taxes and like all the business aspect of it. So that's what I went out there for. And then also I'm gonna be an educator for them, so I'm gonna start training. I don't know when, so I'm not saying anything because I'm still not. I need to prepare
Gotcha.
myself and everything first,
Gotcha.
but
Okay.
soon, definitely this year, just not right now, Um,
Gotcha. Well,
but
maybe your next level. Maybe that's where you go. I
I
think
mean,
you would be an amazing teacher. So I'm super excited for that. Like maybe I'll come take a refresher course with you.
yes,
So
I am gonna be. Yeah, I'm gonna have like different courses, which will be like the classic beginners, and then like a more of a refresher for like volume, mega volume, and then I'm gonna have like an advanced mastery, which is like teaching you like creative lashing, like my type of styling, like all like the more advanced stuff. So it's
mhm.
definitely gonna be a little bit of everything for everybody.
That's gonna be so
Mm.
amazing. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Aw.
And thanks for having me on here. This has been so fun. It's been nice to like talk to you versus like watching you. I always watch your videos. So it's
Aw.
nice to finally talk to you and meet
I'm definitely gonna
you.
go subscribe because I had
Yes.
no idea you did YouTube. So I'm gonna go and support you, and I'm gonna make sure all my do too.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Of course. Well, thanks for coming on here.
Thanks for having
Of
me.
course. It was good
Bye.
meeting you. Bye. Take care.
So what did you guys think of our chat with Alex? Isn't she the sweetest? Go make sure to go show some love on Instagram and go subscribe to her YouTube channel. Go show her some love and go support her journey because you guys all know the struggle is real, especially when you're a new lash artist. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so you guys don't miss out on future lash content, new episodes or vlogs or all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.